good to see you.
How's it going, boys?
Is that the young bit?
Yeah?
It's not the young bit.
Oh, well, you know. Do you think he's young?
No, you said not young man, you see.
Oh, I know.
I'm older than he is.
Yeah, really?
Funny how irony just passes over.
Yeah, well,
But it does. It doesn't. Is age important?
no, not at all.
No? What about in your eyes?
No, don't bother me, really.
No?
It's just a bit greyer.
Yeah.
When I started raising to cook, I didn't have any grey hairs.
Yes.
Look at it now. Oh, you had hair.
I had an afro, didn't I? It was like that, wasn't it? I couldn't get me floppy out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our first contestant today. She's from Kent. Please welcome Hayley Kight. So, are you a good cook?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I cook every evening.
Really? And do you
then.
really get in there and think, I'm really going to express myself, I'm going to be experimental and try something different?
At weekends I do. During the week when I work, and I just cook whatever comes out the freezer.
Yeah, that's good. Good choice. OK, well, you've done some, obviously some good shopping, being a good cook, so let's have a look what you've got along with. Give that a good I say.
Ooh, is this a gourmet bag, eh?
Oh, we're about to find out. Tell us. I think it's more sort of bistro. That's sort of points that direction. What have you got here then? Talk to us about
I've got tiger prawns, we've got the vine tomatoes, butternut squash, red onion and sugar snaps.
Wow. And is any of these favourite? Do you particularly like butternut squash, or do you want to find out
butternut squash because I've never cooked with it before, so I'd like Phil to show me what to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got the prawns because we like a lot of seafood, but again, I've never cooked with it, so I'd want Phil to show me
It's
what
one of
to
those
do.
things you tend to go sort of eat more in restaurants, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's going to come up with some lovely ideas. Beautiful. How much did you spend?
I spent £7.49.
Way clever. Only allowed £7.50. It's a good bit of shopping. Happy with that, chef?
It's a really nice bag. Tiger prawns are great, really versatile, and yeah, we should do some good stuff.
Right, and we're about to meet the old man.
Yeah,
Let's
indeed.
find out how versatile he is in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. From Kent, please welcome Jamie Kight.
Nice to meet you.
OK, so the missus loves to get out into the kitchen every night and express herself. Do you help out? Are you there with a glass of wine, a little bit of music, dancing around and stuff?
Well, we've got a deal. If whoever cooks doesn't do the washing up, and she doesn't like washing up, which means I'm not allowed in the kitchen to cook.
Oh, really?
So I need to learn some more recipes so she can do some more washing up.
All right, let's have a look what you've got.
I think for a birthday you should buy a dishwasher.
Buy me a dishwasher.
That was what I meant, that's not what I said.
Oh, now, yeah, kind of. Oh, now.
Look at that.
Bit minimalistic, I think. It's got that kind of feel to it. You know, we normally have a sort of everything sort of cascading over the table, but done a lovely bit of shopping because that meat looks fantastic. Bit of venison.
It's a gorgeous little bit of venison there. Yeah. I wasn't going to bring venison because I thought it was too dear.
Yeah.
But I've got a friend who...
he just got himself a few red tomatoes there, isn't he?
I've got a friend who goes hunting, so I can have as much venison as I like, but I don't really know how to cook it. I don't know what to do with it. I love blackberries. I'm really into chilli crisps at the moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to cook with chilli, and asparagus I've never had, so I hope that I'm going to like those.
Asparagus.
I've never
we've got
tried
treats
asparagus.
in store. We've got many and varied treats.
Well, there you go. I don't even need to ask you what he thinks. He loves it. How much did you spend then?
£7.53.
53. We don't mind that.
But he's obviously game. So.
Yeah, you're not as good as the missus. You'd like to overdo it a little bit, hey? We're not complaining.
Out a bit.
Have a little bit of a chat. I'll come back and see you in a moment. Right, Hayley, what has Phil got in store for you now? Come on, Phil.
Well, I think what we might do here is the bottom of the butternut squash is hollow it out, microwave it, make a curry, put it back inside at the top. Tomato salad with some of the peas, deep fried onion rings, and then we'll do whole prawns and half prawns cooked, and then you might even caramelise some squash pancakes.
Oh, little squash pancakes.
Yeah, maybe sugar.
Sounds lovely.
Does that sound
Your chilli, that's right.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Well done, Hayley's very impressed. Now, let's see if you're going to be equally impressed, Jamie. What are you going to do over here, Ross?
Gosh, you want some chilli for squash pancakes? They sound fantastic. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go east and west. We're going to take the first bit and do it traditionally. We're going to pan fry it. We're going to roast it in the oven until it's nice and pink, because it's very lean, so it needs to be pink. We're going to do a red wine sauce with a few blackberries and some asparagus with some game chips. So we'll make some chilli crisps along the way, which is what you said like.
Yeah.
With the other piece, we're going to poach it, which is rather unusual. We're going to poach it and do it in a Thai-style broth. with a little fried garlic and some asparagus and what have you. And then with the leftover blackberries, we'll make a little crumble and some custard. Just a sort of boys' food for the winter.
A bit of
That's what
boys'
we
food.
need.
That's lovely. And do you like it? Do you like it pink, your meat?
Yeah, medium rare.
Yeah, medium rare. So
Yep.
absolutely ideal then. Well, there we are. Husband and wife are absolutely delighted. Chefs are prepared to go. So let's give them 20 minutes and say, ready, steady, cook. All right, guys. Let's get going. Now, you heard what Hayley was saying earlier on. I go to restaurants, and when I go to the restaurant, I'm more inclined to order the old prawns. But I really wouldn't cook them at home, and I think that applies to a lot of us, ladies and gentlemen. So you stay there, and Phil's going to give you a couple of really, really nice, bright ideas.
Yep.
And venison. Now, we've even got them in the supermarket, but sometimes we're put off by those too, aren't we? Thinking, what do you do with it?
Cut that off there.
Let's see what Ross comes up
inside.
with. All right,
But really small.
You happy?
Down this one.
Yeah, all right, let me get your chopping board up for you, Hayley.
Thank you.
There you go. Hey, no problem. And we've got some knives and stuff here.
Right.
And if you want a peeler, how about those three? Is that all right for you now?
That's brilliant.
Yeah, if you need anything, give us a shout, all right?
I'll go over there in a second, though. But that's it, lovely. Perfect. We might have to...
Do you want the bottom cut as well?
Yeah, just so it stands up. Yeah, perfect. Don't cut your fingers off. Right.
That's it.
What we're going to do, Ains?
And you want to get that in. How much time do you want in this microwave then?
I reckon about 3 minutes, Ains.
Okay.
I don't use microwaves that often, I have to say.
I think about 4 for that. It's quite a toughy
Yeah?
job, yeah. And are you going to scoop out the middle there, Phil, or...?
I will do, yeah. I think what we might do, Ains, is let's try it with a spoon,
Yeah.
right? Now, with a bit of luck, you should be able to just put a spoon in like that. And just work it around. Oh, look at that, that's perfect. And then all the seeds are in the bottom. In actual fact, these seeds are quite nice. You can actually take them out, wash them off,
Yeah.
toast them in the oven.
And put them in a salad or something
Lovely,
like that,
a lot of salt, bit of honey, and they
Yeah.
work out really well. Oh, that's perfect,
Lovely.
Angus, look at that.
I know, you're very good at scooping it out, aren't you?
A bit of luck and more judgment there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, I think so. Lucky you didn't cut too much off the bottom. So if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, don't cut, you see, cut that off. Just and Hayley did that perfectly, actually, just enough so it doesn't move around too much, but don't overdo it.
Well, might do, plenty of salt and pepper. Think about
Yeah.
squash.
Do you want a
and
little bit of oil
pumpkins.
in there, Phil?
Yeah. The thing about these sort of things, take a lot of cooking, and they also take a lot of salt and pepper as well.
Yeah.
So we sort of over-season it rather than under-season it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, mate?
There you go, lovely.
Right, now I'll
And
put
you want
the
that in the
microwave.
microwave?
Yeah.
Should we put it in a bowl?
No, stick it on there, mate.
All right, then.
Do I need to?
All right then.
That should be right, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should absolutely fine.
Right. You're about 4 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, it's ready to go. That's it, press that one. Yeah,
Look at that,
and
mate.
that'll be
Right.
lovely. I
How small do you
know,
want this
so
cut?
simple.
As small as possible, thanks, my love. Without cutting your fingers off, you can.
Okay, let's get the seeds out of the way.
Mate. If we had time, mate, so I'd dry them out, but we haven't.
I know. How long do you put them in the oven?
About an hour.
About an hour. Nice
Really,
slow. So you're talking
really
about
low.
what, 50, something like that, 100?
Yeah, just under 100 possibly.
Yeah.
They do burn, so be very careful.
Yeah. Okay, mate.
Right, what we do here, it's dead simple, Ains.
Yeah.
Bit of sugar.
Yeah.
We'll put the squash straight into the sugar when it's caramelised.
Yeah.
Butter, cream, that's it, turn it off. And then we'll make some pancakes, stuff inside, bake them in the oven.
Wow.
Okay, big boy.
Wow. That's a nice little tip there,
Nice
isn't it?
bit of pancakes, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I bet you can't wait. 3 minutes to go, by the way.
But how many?
Oh, sorry, 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes gone.
That's gone quick, mate.
I got him panicking there a bit, didn't I, eh? 3 minutes to go. What? They are raw prawns. They've got raw prawns too. What we like. I'm getting him going there. Lovely. Now, I'm going to quickly ask you, how did you and Jamie meet then? What was it? Was it love at first sight?
It was. I was at university in Bournemouth,
Yeah.
working behind the bar there, and he came in and he was playing pool.
Yeah.
Kept winking at me.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't wink back then?
I wasn't winking at you. She was winking at me. I
Well,
thought
she
had
was
a nervous
winking at you.
Well, he kept bending over and showing me his bottom.
Really? Oh, I'm sure he did, love.
This is a family programme.
Yeah, they're married now. It's all right.
true,
then. Oh, lovely.
And then it was love at first sight.
Oh, wonderful. And how long was it before he took you out?
I don't think he ever did.
Really?
No.
Just straight down the registry office, was it?
He's got a cheapskate, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk again. Nice talking to you. OK, Phil, we've got that. Remember, he said, literally, again, explain this to us because that was very brief.
Right, caramel.
Yeah.
It's nearly caramel, but with
Yeah.
their range. Raw squash in there for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Intense heat the sugar will cook it dead straight, dead quick. A little bit of butter, a little bit of cream. That's it.
Put it to one side.
That's it.
Wonderful. And
Stacked
that's going to go
pancake.
inside pancakes.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing that. OK, you've got about 4.5 minutes gone now, Rossi. Yeah, now what are we doing over here?
We're just getting our a crumble going. It's all very organised here.
Yeah.
A very good sous chef over there. He's able to follow directions and produce a
Is
great
he
job.
good? Because he normally just he's watching TV, then comes out and does a bit of washing up. So
I think it might be sort of that husband thing about if you make a haulets of it the first time round, you won't be asked to do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ah, and is that true of you then,
Well,
Jamie?
don't have to do the washing up today, do I?
No, I don't think so. I don't think. All you've got to do is eat today and enjoy yourself.
Oh, lovely.
That is quite nice.
I can
isn't
eat.
it? I'm sure you can. All right then, Ross, tell us that you've taken the zest of orange
Yeah,
off here. There
I
it
think
is.
the thing about cooking, we say these days, that the most important thing is getting all the flavour back in there. And why throw away flavour? Because there's plenty of flavour in it.
Okay, but I've noticed you've trimmed the fat off of the venison.
Yeah, well, poaching it's just going to be rather nasty.
Okay.
But venison is very lean, so it does
Yeah.
need to be. It also depends. You have to ask your butcher where it came from. In as much as did it come from a leg, which does lots of work, therefore it's going to be tough and needs to be braised
Sure.
or stewed, or did it come from a fillet which doesn't do much work, which can be nice and rare. And these look
Right.
like they're little leg steaks from very young animals, so they're going to be little bambi.
Sure.
So it's going to
and
be.
we've got lots of different varieties too. Of you've got it comes from the red deer. There's the fallows
and the roe and the sika and the munchak, but it's mainly roe and fallow that we eat.
Okay, and a lot of good stuff comes from Scotland and the West Country, is
It
it?
certainly does, but
Yeah.
the fallow's always really been farmed. That's what you see in parks generally around the country.
So lots of different varieties, and it is leaner, and often it's cheaper than beef, guys. You know, we go out there, we think venison's game, oh, it's going to be so expensive.
Not
It's
at
quite
all.
cheap, but you've got loads in your freezer at home, haven't
I've
you?
got a freezer full of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've got a friend at work who goes out hunting, and he basically says I can have as much venison as I like.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what to do with
I
it.
know.
Just
So
don't know how to
he's going to give you a couple of ideas. So what's the orange for then, Ross?
Just going to go into our crumble to bulk out the blackberries. Normally we'd use apple or something like that because it's nice and bland. But
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. I'm just
And
going to
that's gonna
brown.
give
We've got
that a bit
nice
of
hot
flavour.
pan there.
So, where did you guys get married? There's me talking about a registry office. Did you get married locally or some exotic place? Or?
Well, we actually went off to Sri Lanka last year with the family. There was 8 of us in all.
Yeah.
Went off to Sri Lanka and got married out there.
Yeah. Do they get in the way, family, when you take them on too?
No, not at all. It was fantastic.
He looked into the audience
gonna
thinking,
say
your
that.
mother-in-law's up there, I better shut up.
I better say how nice they are.
Yeah, of course you have to, don't you?
In fact, it actually included an elephant ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Uncomfortable. Put it this way, there was no danger of falling off.
There's no danger of falling
It
off.
was pretty much skewered on
There's
that.
a danger of getting a divorce quite quickly, isn't there, eh? Not being able to fulfil one's requirements later.
No, it's okay there.
Send them back. It's
It's
damaged
fine.
goods.
He was all right there, was he?
Yeah, it's no problem.
Lovely. All right then. Now tell us, we're just searing that meat off. No oil in the pan.
There's just a tiny bit of oil, because otherwise it's going to stick. We're just going to bung that in the oven for about 5 minutes. We
Yeah.
want to have, and then rest it properly. So it
Okay.
stays nice and juicy. But we don't want to overcook it.
And what about resting? You know, we're always going on about this, but I think we can't sort of emphasise the point enough. How long should you give it a good few minutes?
Well, 5 minutes for that, but I mean, a joint of beef you could give in half an hour easily for
Yeah.
all the heat to penetrate. You get a much better result that
And it's
way.
much tougher, you know, guys. We just don't realise that. You know, if you've got a bit of a joint that you've taken straight out the oven, you start carving up, take it to the table, it's going to be tough. It's a muscle. Allow it to relax. That's when you get that lovely tender taste. That's why when we go to restaurants, it's so tender in the mouth because it's been taken out the oven an hour before and just relax the meat. Beautiful. Okay, now these little slithers of garlic, will they be salted off?
They're
or-
going to be deep fried because we're going to Thailand for that one. So to
Okay.
Thailand. I'm sorry, Granville. I'm looking for Granville.
Yeah.
Well, there's an older audience if they know who Granville is. And Nurse Gladys.
So do I. That's sad, isn't it?
Nurse Gladys looks a bit like our nurse, doesn't she?
yes,
I'm going
I
to curve for that. No, the
Now,
butter's hard, so for the crumble, I'm just going to grate it to make our crumble.
Okay, why?
Because it's hard, and I'm not going to be able to sort of rub it in otherwise.
Very good tip that, isn't it? Grating, because often we take it out the fridge and we think, oh, it's not soft enough. Now, Ross, what do you poach this in quickly before I go?
It's poached in stock.
What type of stock
It's
here,
chicken
please?
stock.
Okay.
And we're going to give it, ideally it would be covered, and I didn't realise it's going to be quite so shallow. So we're going to give it about 4 minutes either side. It's fine.
I'll leave you to it. There's some trays down there. Nice talking to you. We'll
Thank
talk
you very
again,
much.
Jamie.
Is that okay?
All right,
Right,
then,
Ross.
briefly, that's just butter, sugar.
1 butter, 1 sugar, 2 flour.
There you go. Butter, sugar, flour. So if you ounces, one, or cups, anything like that. Okay, Phil.
Can you just check that swash for me, mate?
Yeah, I certainly will. Okay, yeah, it's perfect inside now.
It's lovely.
What's your It just suddenly got hot,
Show that.
Phil.
That is perfect. Look at that. And you better put a knife straight through it, Ames.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look.
So it's actually, we know it's cooked, so the knife will just go straight through.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I wonder if you could do the same to my hands.
Oh, mate, what's going on?
I got a knife.
Have you? I'm sure you have.
Right. Oh.
Okay, halfway now, guys. Time is moving on. Now, what are we putting? A bit of wine in there?
That's a curry, making a really quick curry here. Onions, chilli, coriander, squash, and salt and pepper. That's it. Cook that right down.
Okay.
Touch your wine, break it all up.
All right,
Okay.
beautiful. Yeah.
Pancakes we're making here. So the butterscotch is over here, Ange. You can see that there. Look at that.
Right, that's the other variety. Let's lift that up so we can get a look at that. You can all see that. Beautiful. And it's quite
delicious.
thin, that actually, Phil.
It is quite thin. Remember, I'm going to rebake it in the oven.
Okay.
So making some pancakes quickly here.
All right then, lovely.
Okay, so
Fantastic, lovely pancakes going in there. Superb. Get rid of that one.
And then what I'll do is I'll layer these up, put that all over the top and whack it in the oven.
Can you quickly tell us the mixture, what went into the pancakes?
Yeah, it's roughly 3 tablespoons. That's it, it's not mine. 3 tablespoons of plain flour, 1 medium egg, and enough milk just to bring it together. Okay.
Okay, lovely. Yeah.
These are solid prawns.
Fantastic. Now these are the prawns. Now we've just you just take the little pipe out the back there and straight in there.
Put them into there.
All right.
I was going to cook these other ones. We're going to devein those other ones in a minute.
Okay.
I want to get some sort of garnish.
You can show me how to do that.
Okay.
All right. You don't need to take the heads off or anything like that.
No, you
as
don't.
yet.
Because we really go to a lot of restaurants, especially Mediterranean. All the food's got the head on, the guts in, everything. And that's the way they cook it. So I'm just trying to keep that a bit more.
Absolutely. Make it a bit more realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Now, most people, I don't know, what would you like when you wake up in the morning? You look forward to going to work, Phil? Do you get excited?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I don't dislike work, put it that way. You know.
A lot of people do, though, don't we? We sort of get, we've got to go to work, you feel. But you're like Phil, aren't you?
Yeah, I enjoy going to work because every morning I get up and go to the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
It's kind of nice, though, isn't it?
It is,
And
indeed.
that's probably what Jamie does in the afternoon. So what do you actually do? What's your job?
I'm an MVQ training consultant,
Are
which
you?
means which means that I go round and assess people working in their placements,
Right.
make sure they're doing their jobs
And what do you
properly.
look for, then? Are you looking for them to be particularly grotty or sort of they're hygienic?
They have to be hygienic. They have to have customer care skills.
Yeah.
They have to be able to serve their pints correctly, serve food correctly, interact with customers, things like that.
Yeah. So it's all really to do with the hospitality industry.
That's right, yeah.
Right. And how many people actually fail? Because, you know, years ago, any time you went abroad, people say, oh, the food in Britain, this and that, they don't know how to do it. Are we improving as a nation in that department?
We are.
Yeah, I think so. I think the reason behind that is because customers' expectations have got higher, so therefore the standards in the restaurants need to get higher.
Yeah.
So,
Right, and of course our knowledge of food programs like this and various other, you know, the chefs and just generally,
Helps.
definitely makes us a little bit more. We feel more comfortable with ourselves. You're a bit more reassured when you go out to eat. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, definitely.
lovely. Now,
Right, mate.
tell us quickly. You're taking that off.
Yeah, I want
to
to keep the shell on these. So what I'm going to do is dead simple. Lay it on its back, put the knife in the back straight through, cut straight through to the shell, and just put out the little back sack you don't want in there like that. Dead simple. And then as we cook them, they'll open up like a butterfly, like you get in the Chinese.
Beautiful.
Dead
Beautiful.
simple. Dead
Okay, not much time now. So
And I've got
That's gonna
you've got to
be-
move those up.
Thank you, love.
You've got about 6, something like that.
Like that.
Okay, now
To there for me.
what's happening here? These are. That is. I don't quite know what's going on
It's
there.
going to be a little fondant.
Oh, a little fondant. We're going to sit something on top of that.
Exactly.
All right. Did you get a bit of chilli, Phil? Did you want a bit of chilli? You did.
There's more if you want it, mate.
All right then. And you're quite skilled at that, aren't you, Jamie? Eh? That's a bit good. Eh? Have you ever done that sort of that type of chip before?
No, never.
And you've learnt how to cut it
Yeah,
again.
right.
All right. Then just go one way, then the other way. You do need a mandolin for that, ladies and gentlemen. Still.
It's
You
done a
can
great
buy
job of
those.
those.
Fingers
All right then. And what are we doing now then?
I just thought make, just make life more difficult. Just make a little long glaze.
Yeah, okay, that's all right then, and I'm sure you're going to have enough time to do that. And we've got that's poached off, and look at that, still really, really very, very pink. And of course we've got the other one that's been seared in the pan there, and again resting. Look at the juice coming out of it. That's what we talk about.
Which will go back into the sauce, you see.
Yeah, all that's going to go back into the sauce. Fantastic. Shall I turn this one over here for you?
Yes, please,
Yeah,
mate.
you
That'd
can
be
use
great.
your tongs. Just flip that over. That's it. Bung that in like that. Push it against your chest. Yeah. Like this, see that? And that opens up here. And you just pull it out when you need it to close up. That's it. 5 minutes to go now, guys.
Great.
All right. Lovely. Looking good.
Sort that in a
All right,
second.
Ross, and we've got that lovely red wine reduction. Now, back to you then, now. So, besides all these lovely savoury items, you're a bit of a pudding fan at home, you and Hayley, aren't
Yeah, we
you?
do like our pudding. It's got a bit of a sweet to it.
Yeah, and but it's your mother that introduced you to a particular favourite recipe, which I think you're going to share with us.
Yeah, it's very quick banoffee pie. Normally, it takes a good few hours to make a banoffee pie. But basically what I do is I buy a ready-made pastry case from the supermarket,
Yeah.
chop up a couple of bananas, chuck it in there, and then with the condensed milk, instead of boiling it in the tin, I empty it into a big bowl, stick it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and then just...
And you keep an eye on it till it goes that kind of toffee colour.
It goes really, it expands an awful
Wonderful.
lot.
And am I right in saying that you impressed you attempted to impress your future in-laws with this?
Yeah, I was going to take one over. We're having a party over at the in-laws' house. And I made this absolutely fantastic banoffee pie, piped all the cream on professionally, bit of chocolate over the top, drove it over there, and the cream had actually left the top of the pie and was sitting on the back seat next to it.
Oh, no.
But nobody ate it.
Did you eat it, though?
I ate all of it, yeah.
Oh, really?
Nobody else would touch it.
Oh, really? Does he like a little bit of a nibble in the back seat then, Hayley?
Certainly does, yeah.
Hey, love? Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah, lots going on there. A lovely colour. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with the technique that you showed here, Ross. Look at the colour.
Good man.
You've done a really good job, because often, people overload the fryer, because that's the secret. You put too much in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is absolutely perfect. All right, a quick anglaise, chef. What is it?
It's just eggs, milk and sugar, basically. We'll keep an eye on that.
Okay, and all that is the custard, fresh egg custard. We always go out and buy the custard powder, which is only really corn flour with a bit of a sort of yellow thickening agent, isn't it, really?
Exactly.
So to make the fresh one, eggs, as he said, mixed with a bit of milk and sugar, and you put that back on the heat. You do need to keep stirring it, so whilst you're doing that, you can stir that too. Give that a bit of a stirring, yeah? Okay, and what about your interest then? What do you like to do, your hobbies?
I love water skiing.
Oh, really? Do you go as a
fantastic.
couple? Do you do it?
We do, yeah. I'm very lucky because the father-in-law's got a boat, and he takes us out most weekends, as long as the weather's nice. We live by the coast. We go out water skiing.
What an absolute treat! Yeah, top stuff, man. What's happening
Well,
here?
just that's reheating the sauce and just starting to break down those blackberries.
Okay, and the sauce is just red wine reduction.
Red wine, a little balsamic, the juices from the released juices.
Okay, don't forget we've got CFAX, and of course we've got our website. I'll tell you more about that information later on, but all the recipes are on there, ladies and gentlemen, to help you, okay? So you can try and recreate this or perhaps write it down for later on. But wonderful. Well done. Lovely looking food down there, Ross. And, every time I come, he's got with a fire.
Get a bit of, when I get some heat in it, what I'll do, Ames, there's a method in my madness here.
Yeah, method in the madness.
What I've done is I've cooked on one side, and the steam off the red wines with the juices will cook the other side, so I can turn it off now.
Wow.
Even though they're opaque, and they won't open up like butterflies.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, you've got 2 minutes to go.
How long?
2 minutes, even less now. And look at these. Can you explain what have we got here?
We just made a simple batter and dipped the onions in there,
All right,
fried
then.
them off,
And
a bit of Susie salt and Percy pepper.
Lovely. Well, you can't beat a bit of that, can you,
No, certainly
darling?
not.
All right, then. And I'll just put these on here just to kind of soak up a little bit of that grease. Lovely. Now, you were actually quite sort of prominent whilst you were at school at cooking, weren't you?
I was.
A lot of the students used to come to you instead of going to the home economics
They
teacher.
did. Miss Hollister, she was a bit of a dragon, but I'm sure she was very nice.
National telly,
She still loves you, miss.
I'm sure. Yeah,
She can't give you detention now,
Not
though,
any,
can
she used to, plenty.
Did she?
But they used to come and see me rather than asking her for some help.
That's good.
Used to get me into trouble, but there you go.
And is it interesting that you've gone on to do the type of job that you can do? Because you can motivate people, you can show
That's
people
it,
the right
yeah,
thing.
I do enjoy doing that.
They say, show me a child of, 7 and I'll show you the man or the woman. Do you know what I mean? Or the adult. And I think that's there from a very
When
early
you can
age.
spark an interest, I think it's...
Yeah. All right, nice talking to you. All right, guys, 1 minute to go. I don't need to tell you, it's time to make that food look pretty. Get that food on the plate. We've got crumbles that have just come out of the oven, looking absolutely stunning. Here comes Ross with his little bits of crispy garlic, looking absolutely fantastic. There we are. There we've got lovely sort of crumbles coming out of there. We've got poached beef. We've got seared beef. There's my mistake again. We think it's beef. It's actually venison. 30 seconds now. Delightful things with prawns here. Look at those. Absolutely lovely. Not being frightened to allow that height to really set the food off. Beautiful. 20 seconds to go now. That's it. Will that creme anglaise make it, ladies and gentlemen?
Big yogurt out of the fridge. Big yogurt out of the fridge.
Pour a bit in there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! Wow! Just take take a look at that. What a treat, eh? Hey, to remind you what our chefs had in their bag. Phil Vickery started with tiger prawns, a red onion, butternut squash, sugar snap peas and vine tomatoes. Ross Burton had venison, blackberries, a chilli, potato and a bunch of asparagus. Yummy. That's all I can say about this. It really looks absolutely ravishing. Do you agree then, Hayley?
Fantastic.
Grab your cutlery and do it justice, my love. Now, what about a name then,
It's
Phil?
got to be a Hayley Kite delight.
And indeed, I'm
It's
sure it
only
will be.
possible.
Go on then, tell us what you do with your ingredients.
Start here, Ains. Here we cut the bottom of the squash off. You did actually.
Yep.
And then we cut it out and we made a curry and used a really quite a chunky curry with a bit of cream in there. And look at that. You see the chilli and the bits and pieces. And it's delicious.
Yeah.
You can actually put it back in the oven and rebake it if you want. It does work both ways.
Yeah.
Then so that's
Nice
a
flavour.
very light curry.
Squash is lovely.
Nice, isn't it? It's really sweet.
nice.
Here we deep fry the prawns. I'll deconstruct that a bit so you can see it. And then we butterfly those perfectly.
Pick your
And
fingers
all
on
they're
that, get your
cooked with
fingers
is
on
just
that.
white wine and oil, nothing else. Doesn't need anything else. Onion rings and a bit of the curry.
Tell. There you go.
And you like to eat it out of the thingy here. That's lovely. Look at that. The secret is you mustn't overcook it. Here we did a more sugar snap tomato salad, almost like a salsa idea, lots of lemon juice.
Beautiful.
And then just cook those in butter. Look at the difference in the colour because of
Yeah.
butters. And here we made the other squash, which we've cooked with caramel, as we did with added lime juice to it when you went around Ains. Touch of cream butter, make
Yeah.
pancakes and rebake the pancakes. You've got two pancakes baked together, and it actually sticks together like butterscotch.
Oh, it's a bit gluey and a bit lovely and a bit ooey and a bit oozy and a bit ooey and a bit ooey and a
It's
bit ooey and a bit... What was it like, Hayley?
It was wonderful.
Is it lovely?
It's extremely bad for you, but delicious.
Oh,
I like things like that for me.
oh, so do I, darling. Don't worry about it. All right, then, well done to you
mate.
both. Fantastic. She's having a good time over there.
isn't she?
A lot to compete with, mate, but look at the feast you've got in
Yeah,
front
I
of you.
know.
Go on, you get stuck into it.
fantastic.
What about a name then, Ross?
Well, I think they had things a bit smooth over there, so we're going to call it the Rough and Crumble.
Just my boy. That's my boy. OK, what did you do with your ingredients?
Well, basically, it's based on the venison. So we took the first lot of venison, we just simply pan-fried it, seasoned it, and that's sitting on a little fondant potato. Made the sauce with deglazing it with a little balsamic, a little red wine, and then we tossed through those blackberries for a little bit of sweetness, some poached asparagus around the top.
Nice.
The other one we've poached to this beautiful pink colour. You can see it's just beautifully pink in
Yeah.
the centre there.
Okay.
And that's in our broth that's flavoured with deep-fried garlic, the little tomato, the asparagus, the chilli, so it's a sort of Thai broth. A splendid sous chef here made these wonderful Grange crisps. And then we made a blackberry and orange crumble.
That little bit at the edge there. Straight in. Now, that's it. Now, I want you to tell me your verdict on that. Because the broth, what was the broth? What was the actual stock?
Well, it's chicken
Is that
stock,
lovely?
Oh, so tender.
but it's been flavoured with all the things that are poached in it. It's been flavoured
Yeah.
by the asparagus, flavoured by the
That chilli goes really well.
chilli and the deep-fried garlic to intensify the flavour.
That's gorgeous. I've got to have some of that crumble, because I love crumble.
All right,
Get some
go on.
custard on it as well. Get in there. That's your custard. Look at that. Ideally, if we had some hazelnuts, it'd be nice
What
to
do you
put some
think?
hazelnuts in there.
That is fantastic. That is so good.
Well, I'm
Wow,
sure you'll be able
wow,
to
wow,
replicate
wow.
it.
Look at them, you
I hope
see?
so.
Isn't that, it's wonderful when people appreciate food, but do our audience appreciate what our chefs have done? Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. Is it going to be a green pepper day or a red tomato day? Will you all please vote now? And up they go, and you can see that today it's a green pepper day!
Excellent.
Hey, congratulations to you. It's £100 spending money there for you. Enjoy it. Have you enjoyed the experience?
Absolutely fantastic. We had a lovely day. Thank you very much.
And being such a prominent cook, what's the first thing you probably get home? What are you going to say? I'm going to try this. What kind of appeals to you?
No, I think I'm going to try the squash,
Yeah.
although do it with the pancakes and things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which one? Well, if you've bought the squash, then you can do both dishes.
That's it, yeah.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Well done, Phil.
Thanks.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for sharing some of your knowledge with us. And of course, you've gained some valuable experience to
yes.
tackle that venison in your
I
freezer.
can't wait to defrost
Yeah.
my freezer now.
And you
get
did
that out.
say at the top of the show that if you won, it was a kiss. It's lucky you've lost because you don't have to kiss me, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I started sweating a bit, actually.
You decided to sweat a bit. You should see me, mate. Hey, we've got a lovely hamper for you to take home. Thanks so much for coming along, Jamie. It's a
Thanks, Ainsley.
wonderful experience, and you and Hayley have a wonderful life together. Thanks very much, Ross.
super.
Hey, it's time to see what's in today's quickie bag. In the meantime, let's say a very big thank you to Hayley and Jamie. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what our chefs can prepare with this little lot. Aha. There we go, yeah, it's going to be one of those...
Mexico way.
Yeah, one of those tortilla days. Cheese, sweet corn, pepper, a bunch... It is, actually. A bunch of scallions, spring onions, or whatever you want to call them. There you go. And Mexican flavour was the name of the day, I think.
Mr. Burden?
What would you do with it?
I would make quesadillas,
Yeah.
which are Mexican toasties, and chimichangas,
Which are?
which are Mexican spring rolls with a sour cream dip.
There you go. And that's basically... So it's all kind of rolled up, isn't it? Some are fried, you can bake them, you can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good, doesn't it?
It does sound good, but...
Well, I'll deep fry the tortillas, or like a dip, make some dip with sweet corn. Might make a sweet corn soup. Cheddar,
Fritters.
toast, yeah, fritters. Might do some almost like Welsh rarebit idea, but using the cheese and almost like a Mexican Welsh rarebit rather than English one.
Yeah.
And make a dip or two, I think, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
Okay, dips, all sorts of things. Very valuable, isn't it? Always. If you've got a few friends coming over, you just want to kind of knock something up. So, what do our audience? You got a few friends coming over, or do you fancy a chimichanga? Let's see those cards now. Put them up, please.
Whoa,
there
look at that,
you
mate.
go. Oh. I don't know if they know what a chimichanga is, but it sounded so exciting. Let's get cooking. Okay, your 10 minutes cooking time starts now. Let's do it.
Right, if you want to grate some cheese for
I
us.
certainly will. What about Phil? What little job can we give
If
him?
you'd like to sour some cream, that'd be super.
Yep.
And then perhaps if you make some sweet corn fritters, I'll grab a bit of this and then...
Your cream or my
Well, let's
cream?
get a tin then.
You can do
divide.
yours.
Yep.
Okay, how much do you want to give him and how much
Oh,
do you want?
we'll keep that much. You can have the rest.
Okay then. Here we go. Oh, Phil, he's giving you a generous amount there for your fritters.
man.
Yeah, very nice.
Get these on.
Okay. And have you done much travelling around Mexico then, Ross?
I've been to Mexico once, around the Oaxaca region.
Yeah, I was down there in Oaxaca. It's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it?
Home of the chilies. Rather superb. And there's a great, you know, they've got the influences of the Spanish, of the Mezcal, of the Aztecs, lots of things going on there. Great
Yeah.
food.
I know, and tortillas, it's just like everybody eats them.
It's bread, isn't it?
No, you just got to buy absolute stacks of them for like £1, about this many, you know, it's quite incredible. And they make them on the side of the street.
Yeah, here we make them out of wheat generally, but they're made from maize. But maize has been grown for like 6,000 years.
Yeah, sure.
Extraordinary stuff. And here in French it's maize, and in Italian, but here we call it corn, which is rather odd because corn is just the word for, it actually means something little. It's the word for grain, you see.
Yeah.
So we have the corn laws. It wasn't actually about maize, it was about wheat. So it's rather odd we've taken that name. Incidentally, corned beef is known as corned beef because it used to be beef that was preserved with corn salt. It was known as corn salt because it came in granules the size of wheat grains.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. A little bit of knowledge there from Ross once again. Always appreciated. Yeah, no, it's appreciated. It's lovely. You know, sitting at home thinking about, you know, what can I do?
Right,
Let me tell you about corn.
Hey, I can tell you something about corned beef as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, the reason why corned beef came apart was because they only used to use the really nice pieces of the meat, like the sirloin,
Yeah.
to throw the rest away. So the guy had decided to go to Argentina, build a factory that used up all the offcuts. That's how corned beef came.
Oh,
right. Yeah, the other interesting thing about here we
What can I do for you now, Ross? You want to slice up your pepper?
Yeah, finely chop, and then half chopped, half sliced.
Okay.
The other thing about those sort of meats was salt pork used to be sent over when, because of religious and high days and holy days, so much fish was eaten in Europe, and they couldn't produce enough. When John Cabot, who in fact was Italian, his name was Jacopo Caboto, and anglicised his name to keep Elizabeth I happy, went over and found Newfoundland, the fishermen who went over to catch the cod, make salt cod, got bored of it. So they used to send over salt pork for them to eat something. And if the boats were delayed, they had to scrape the bottom of the barrel.
So,
So that's where the expression comes from.
scrape the bottom of the barrel.
A bit like we've done.
Speak for yourself, Ross.
You are a cheeky man.
I know. All right, mate, this is fine. The other one sliced.
Yep, please.
Finely chopped.
Sure, we're going to use
Okay.
it for you. We're doing very well.
Lovely.
Do you want some
And-
spring onions for your pancakes there, Phil?
Yeah, check it, fit in here.
Yeah,
Put
oh,
it
you-
straight in there, mate.
okay.
Oh, what, the ones I've just chopped?
thank you.
Well done.
It works every time.
He doesn't mess about, does he? Here you go, mate.
There's no flies on him. You can see where they've been, mind.
Ooh, he's so waspy.
Oh, he is. He puts the knife in and twists it, doesn't he, eh? He really
And then
does.
does it again.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Okay, what are you actually making there, Phil?
I'll make some corn fritters.
And tell us the basics of that.
It's
Some
simple.
variations on that.
2
isn't it?
eggs, around about 4 ounces of surface flour,
some spring onions, lots of chopped coriander, and about, I'll just take this out of here, around about 200 grams of corn. Now, you can whiz up the corn, Ains, if you want.
Yeah.
But I like to give it a hole so you can see it in there. And if you use self-raising flour, they actually rise when they cook, and they almost make them quite light. Sometimes fridges can be quite heavy. That's generally because you don't use a raising agent.
Okay.
Okay?
Lovely.
Oh, can I
All
just
right, now, what about this then? Do you want the peppers in here?
Right, we want the...
You what, Phil?
No, I'll come back. You carry on.
All right. We will do. All the cheese in there. Now,
Toss it around. Now,
these are for the...
this is for the boat. Mixture's going to be the same. I've put some coriander, some seasoning, and some Tabasco in here for a bit of hot.
Okay.
We're basically, we're going to get the quesadillas going, so we don't want to cook them on a lower temperature. Basically, they're just a cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
You can put shredded meat, shredded leftover meat in here. It's very good.
Look at that, and just top them up. That's beautiful. Okay, and another layer, once that's on the top there. No oil yet,
No,
Chef?
nothing. No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm just going to turn them down
All right.
and do the same on the other.
And that's all going to melt. Or do we do it on there, or it's two different pans? So it's
We're just going to make two.
Okay, lovely.
And then we're gonna make the
But you could make a triple layer if you wanted to, couldn't you?
The heat wouldn't get through and you'd have a claggy one in the centre.
Okay, we don't want a claggy one, do we?
No, we don't want claggy.
All right then, lovely.
And we
All
turn
right,
it
now,
down.
what about, what's
Right,
next?
now,
What can I do for
chimichanga.
you? Yeah.
Is, like, as I said, it's a bit like a spring roll. Not too much filling because you're going to overstuff it. Fold it over, bring it back, side in, roll the chap up, actually make it a little bit longer, roll the chap up, and we're going to deep fry them.
Okay.
Oops, I've ripped that one, we'll do it again.
Okay, have you got enough there?
Right, what you need to do is we need some tongs.
Yeah.
We need to hold it until it starts to set in the oil.
Ah, I see. So, all right then. So we're going to get a
Thanks,
little
mate.
set of tongs. Have you got any tongs?
Here you go, mate.
Thank you very much. Lovely. All right. Okay, in that goes. Okay, and just hold it there. Now, what else could you do? Cocktail sticks will probably just...
Yeah, you could do. You just want to get the packages to start to set.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh. Oh.
Just like that, Ains,
Yeah, that's all right then. Well, if I can't do it, can you imagine it? Anyway. Now, listen, guys, I've got a little culinary question here. This is from Suzanne Jones from Fleet in Hampshire. Good afternoon to you, Suzanne. And her question is, I've been trying to find out how to create the dish where different birds are stuffed into each other. I need to know how to do it and which are the best birds to use. Can you help?
Yes.
Any ideas?
Yes, I can.
I know you did something like this recently.
Yeah, I've done it.
Phil. I've done it, but I just think it's kind of nice for you guys.
I cooked it. It took about 7 hours to cook, but generally speaking, quickly, it's a quail. We bone out a quail. You put the quail inside a boned out poussin.
Yeah.
Put the boned out poussin, which is about 14 ounces, into a guinea fowl. You then put the boned out guinea fowl into a small chicken. You then put the boned out small chicken into a slightly larger chicken.
Yeah.
Or peacock, if you've got peacock running gone.
Yeah.
As we did in medieval times. And then even a bigger chicken, and then you roast the whole thing together. It takes about 8 hours to cook. I actually done it.
And you can use a whole variety of things, couldn't you? You can also incorporate duck into it, or goose, and all sorts of
wherever
things.
you like. And
Yeah.
basically, if you had been really sort of chefy about it, you wrap a little bit of stuffing around each one.
Yeah.
So when you actually cut the whole thing, it ends up almost as big as that dinner plate. You slice it, and then there's all the rings of meat and
Different types of meats and
yeah,
stuff
it's
like
very
that,
difficult to and pretty expensive, but
Yeah.
it's very good.
It's well worth it.
Yeah, if you
well,
want to try it,
Suzanne,
yeah.
I hope we've given you one or two ideas there. Have you ever done a variation of that, Ross?
Not with multiple birds, but I have done a lot of boning out birds and stuffing them. Especially chickens are good because the skin sort of forms its own tin foil, if you like.
Sure.
So that always
Okay,
really
these
difficult to do.
are getting a little bit, aren't they? That's it. That's it. Just that's lovely.
Just want to keep that.
All right, then you can see that that's toasting up absolutely beautiful. Would you rub a little bit of butter on top of that now, Ross, or not at all? Okay, 3.5 minutes to go.
I was just going to make a little. I thought we'd make a little salsa. We'll have
Okay.
some coriander and some lime juice and a little bit of olive oil and some spice
All right, now what about the remainder of these peppers?
and
light salad?
and peppers
Okay.
and a little bit of green as well.
All right, then 3 minutes to go now. That's fantastic.
So if you want to grab some-
And I can make a little stringy ones of these and
Yeah,
deep fry them.
absolutely. They're
And then we
called
can-
chilaquiles.
Yeah, chilaquiles. Okay, I'll make some little chilaquiles.
What's cream, Ross?
Sorry? Oh, the cream goes in there, thank you very much.
Can I talk quickly about cream, Ains? Sour cream here.
Talk to us about sour cream, Phil, please.
Now, this may be some load of old rubbish, but
Yeah.
I found that sour cream sours much quicker. Now, the sour cream is dead simple to make. You can buy it, but I don't see the point of it. It's like buying a Yorkshire pudding mix.
Absolutely.
You don't need egg yolk and flour.
I know,
Or
absolutely.
a pancake mix, which is
Yeah,
milk
but
powder.
if you don't know how to do it, then that's where you buy it.
Fair enough.
So this
But
is just
anyway,
with lemon juice?
Just
or
lemon juice, but it tends to thicken if the cream is colder. If you take your cream out and leave it on the side, it doesn't seem to thicken.
Okay.
But the colder it is, the quicker it will thicken. That's the juice of one lemon. Look how thick that is.
All right, then.
Mine's that is double cream.
Fantastic.
So have you been sitting at home playing with cream?
A bit of research, boss.
Well done.
Research.
2 minutes to go, by the way,
I
guys.
meant that in the nicest
I
possible.
know it is, I know it is.
Okay, now these little kind of shoestringy bits of pastry that we had left over, and the great thing, lovely for a bit of garnish, but also particularly nice too if you want to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on them as a bit of a sweet crunch. So choice is yours there, really. Now, what about finishing this all off now, Rossi?
Right, we need to take the. Whoops. We need to take the
1.5 minutes to go.
quesadillas off.
All right then. And do you want them sliced at all?
No, well, actually, if you just work them on down there, give them a sec. We'll give them 1 minute to calm down, then we're going to wedge them.
All right then.
Thank you very much.
There you go. All right then. You've got about a minute actually. The music's
All right,
going to kick off any second now.
We'll start doing them now. Ideally, you want them to set slightly. So
You want a big chopper, or are you happy with that?
I would, yeah.
Okay, 1 minute to go. Let's get this all done.
Garnish it straight away.
Okay then, lovely. We've got some nice little stringy bits of garnish.
You've always just got to show off, don't you?
I know. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And we've got those looking absolutely yummy. They're nice and crunchy and looking
You have to remember,
superb.
this is food for people who really don't have to worry about their weight, because that's can be quite high fat. This.
All right. Lovely. I think we just have a little bit of one of those with a little bit of icing sugar on it and a touch of cinnamon, I think. Okay. Give people those ideas there. Okay, cinnamon. All right. Okay, 15. The audience, get ready to help me count down now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop!
I think a little bit of hot is always a good thing.
Yeah, that's kind of right up your street, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Well done to you. Well done. We got there, boys. Okay, what about a name?
Well, don't Timmy Tanga when you can chimichanga.
Nice to see Ross shake it in the afternoon, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, then. Tell us, what did you do with your ingredients then?
Well, obviously the tortillas made the base, but the quesadillas are toasted sandwiches. So we made a mixture of grated cheese with the corn, the sweet pepper, all the spring onions, and what have you.
Lovely.
And
lovely and gooey.
Gooey, and basically just mix it up, and they just stick together. The mixture then went into the chimichangas. If you let them rest, they go hard and they don't stick to the bridge of your mouth. Well, the first quiet time we've had this programme. Then we made little spring rolls and deep fried them with Phil making some sour cream. Oh, don't sulk, it doesn't suit. And it makes some sour cream to go with it. It's a bit of a dip type arrangement there. Phil, I think you made
Phil,
some...
come and try these. They're horrible. Now, what about you, Phil? Briefly on the subject of sweet corn fritters.
Dead simple. 2 eggs, a flour, self-raising, some of yours nicely chopped spring onions, coriander, sweet corn, salt and pepper. That's it. Bang, in the pan.
Wonderful.
About 2 or 3 minutes on each side.
And literally, you can see here at the end of the tortillas, you can actually fry them, you can cut them in any shape you want. Perhaps a nice thing to get the children involved in. And they are deep fried, sprinkled with a little bit of cinnamon and icing sugar, just to give it a bit of sweetness. Nice to have a little bit of a crunch. And if you've missed any of the recipes, not only here but earlier on, ladies and gentlemen, they are available on CFAX page. Oh, golly, that's getting there. Page 560, or indeed our website, bbc.co.uk/food. From all of us here, have a wonderful day. See you soon.
See you
Bye.
next time.
Stand by for the Queen of Mean. The Weakest Link is next on BBC Two. Masters of Spin, Stephen Fry and John Bird have Absolute Power tonight at 6:30 on Radio 4, 92 to 95 FM and on digital radio.
See